Hello and welcome back to more Ace Attorney Investigations 2. In the last episode, we finished the middle chapter of the game, and today, the plan is to finish the case. Because I didn't upload yesterday, because I had a lot of stuff to do, and I didn't get the chance to record an episode of the series. So in an attempt to make up for that, the plan is to finish the case. I don't know if that's gonna happen. I don't know how long it's gonna take to get through both end pieces. That's the plan, is to get through the case. We'll see what happens. Let's just get started. March 28th, 3 2 p.m. Detention Center Visitors Room. Oh yeah, by the way, Simon works for a very big circus because, of course he does, right? Just when I thought I was done with those circus freaks, they just had to pull me right back into the hellhole that is very big circus. Anyway. Why did you not mention that beforehand?
No, but I did. What didn't I mention? That you're a member of the very big circus. No, it's just that, you know, I'm not. I can't call myself a member yet. I'm just a new recruit.
That's semantics. Regardless, let's still make you a member. Great, now he's dead. Well done, guys.
So why didn't you tell us that before? I told you I was part of the circus. It would have made me look suspicious.
What? Well, I mean, yes, because very big circus is kind of known for having shitty people there. But in the context of this case, if you working for the circus is not like the joke, right? Like, that's the meme that I do. The joke is that working for Very Big Circus makes you suspicious because it's Very Big Circus. But that's a funny joke that I do. That doesn't actually make you suspicious.
Since I also knew Knightley and all that.
Yeah, I said, but you couldn't have.
I didn't think anyone would believe what I had to say, not even you guys, Kate.
You knew we would find out that you were gonna be a member of the circus, so not telling us just makes us not trust you now. Didn't we promise to believe in you?
But, Mr. Edgeworth, you're just kind of scary.
Man, you're just terrible at getting info from people. Aren't you, Miles? Oh, that's none of your concern. Looks like we need to have a talk with him again.
So, what'd you do in the circus, Simon?
I guess you could say I'm a wild animal tamer. You know, it's funny, I was actually gonna guess that because his name, his Simon Keys, Shy Monkeys. Like, maybe he works with monkeys, I don't know, whatever. I'm still just an apprentice, though.
Wow, that's incredible! So you command lions and tigers to do your bidding, right?
No, nothing crazy like that.
No way. My partner is this little...
Had to open my mouth and talk.
Hello, Money the Monkey. How nice to see you again.
And that makes you a wild animal tamer? He's more like an organ grinder than a wild animal tamer. Ugh, that's tough. Aww. Yup, it's Money the Monkey. Okay, what are we doing? Are we doing a Ratatouille here, where the monkey, or sorry, the Ratatouille, where the animal grabs the hair and becomes a puppeteer?
Hey, come on, cut that out. He can be quite a handful sometimes.
That's exactly what we're doing! That is exactly what we're doing! We're actually doing Ratatouille, that's awesome. I thought organ grinders controlled the monkeys, not the other way around. Am I speaking to the monkey now, or Simon? Yesterday, you told us you were just a regular employee, correct?
Even if I'm a member of the circus, I'm still legally an employee. We're just like any regular company. The ringleader is the boss and I'm just a grunt. I even have a supervisor. She's the head of the wild animal tamer division. No matter what kind of fierce creature, they all immediately follow her every command. There's that music again.
I mean, so I say that, but the music was actually the least terrible thing about Turnabout Big Top. Like, the main Very Big Circus theme, and then also that like the music from that case was pretty good. Pretty good. I combined cool with good. Very catchy to listen to. So the music is not something I have to complain about the Big Top case, but still, just hearing it reminds me, because I think this is the music. This is the goddamn music that was playing when they revealed the stupid cloak trick. So it's burned into my goddamn brain when I was sitting there in front of the TV, just like in awe at what I was witnessing unfold before me. Oh god, that case is so bad. But let's hope, because this case is great so far, let's hope that the circus isn't about to ruin it. I am not a wild animal. Did you and your supervisor take part in the animal show here at the prison?
Yeah, it was just us two. It was only a small operation this time around. Basically, my supervisor takes center stage, and I take care of all the dirty work. Well, I did have a tiny part in the performance. So there are only 2 members of the circus that are related to this case.
That's very odd, I must admit. I mean, I guess unless it's an animal-focused show, in which case, okay, makes sense. So, can you tell me about your movements around the prison?
Okay, I went to meet Knightley 2 days ago around noon, and that's when you gave him the chessboard. That's right, and then that night I started setting up the stage in the courtyard. It was pretty tough going back and forth moving all of the crates by myself. I left everything in Workroom A, I think. Just temporary storage.
Workroom A. That's where the body was discovered.
Didn't your supervisor help you at all? No way! I can't let her do anything like that. That's my job.
Yeah, I was about to say, in every story ever, the job of a supervisor is to do nothing.
After I got everything ready, we started rehearsing. When we left, it was almost midnight. The show was set to start at 8 a.m. the next day and go on to 10 a.m.
The only one who went in and out of where the body was found is Mr. Keys. And then the body was found just before the show ended. I mean, I still don't... Like, he's a member of Very Big Circus, so I don't exactly like the dude, right? But he's not exactly... Like, I don't suspect him to be the killer. Which, I mean, that's happened before, and I've been completely hoodwinked, so... Maybe he will end up being the culprit. I strongly doubt it. I'm pretty sure it's going to end up being the warden, based on no evidence other than a gut feeling, but still. I mean, my gut hasn't usually been all that incorrect in the past, but, you know, it's been correct more often than not, but that doesn't, I'm not impervious to being wrong. I've been wrong many times before in this case, so, for all I know, it could be, you know what, maybe it's the monkey. Maybe it's Money the Monkey. I mean, he's puppeteering Simon Key, so who knows? It's weird how it happened so fast. I don't think that the pest guy would have just arrested you on a whim. I wouldn't put it past him, though. Well, maybe it's because of that. Of that?
When I was moving the crates, I decided to go check up on him. You know, Knightley.
You went directly into the detention block? Did you have permission?
No, I had to sneak in. It wasn't a formal visit or anything.
Okay, didn't you already see him 2 days ago? Why would you go and do such a thing?
Well, we're the only friends either of us had since childhood. He was the same as me. We never had real families. I just wanted to talk with him for a bit, so I went to see him.
Him? You didn't have a family?
When I was younger, I lost the only family I had, my father.
So is that it? I know all too well how it feels to lose your father at a young age.
So you're the same as Mr. Edgeworth and me.
So it was just the two of you talking at that time?
Yes, all the other cells were empty, and there weren't any guards nearby either.
Yeah, but then you got found out, and that's why they suspected you.
Well, what? Did I do something really bad?
Something must have happened while Mr. Keys and Knightley were alone. That's probably the best logic. It seems that we'll need to talk with you with your supervisor as well.
She should be here today, too. Probably in the courtyard. Oh, I'm sorry it turned out like this, boss. Simon, if there's anything we can do to help, just tell us. What? But I can't do anything in return. Don't you worry about that. We're your allies. That's because we're like birds of a feather, right, Mr. Edgeworth?
Birds of a feather, huh? I suppose that's true. We have sufficient information about your past. I doubt you had a motive to kill Knightley. Rather, you are probably the most affected by his death, and I doubt someone as timid as you could work up the courage to murder someone. Alright, I'll get you out of here. We'll believe in you. Well, what do we have here? Starting to get a hang of the whole defense attorney gig. Yeah, music! Yeah! Do-do-do-do, do-do-do. Oh, it's so good every time. You sounded a bit like your old man just now. Me? Sound like my father? Yeah, he would say the defense attorney's job is to be an ally to the deserted. If you're going to ride that stallion into the sunrise, wait for me, I want in too. Mr. Shields, I think you mean sunset. Yeah, of course. It was just a joke. A joking motive, would you say? Was it candy?
No, thank you. I don't like the sweets.
Oh, really? What a shame.
What's wrong with this? What's wrong with the sunrise? The legendary Yatagarasu is all about the sun. since the sunlight always exposes the truth.
Good grief. For now, let's just head to the prison courtyard and see what we can find there. Alright. Are we about to meet Ally the Alligator? I think we may be about to meet Ally the Alligator.
Ah, the shutter is open.
Yes, it looks like that way it leads to the courtyard.
So what are we waiting for? Come on, let's get a move on.
She's certainly in high spirits. Alright then. To the courtyard we go. I think we're about to meet Ally the Alligator. March 28th, 3:37 p.m. prison courtyard. I've been waiting to meet Ally the Alligator for over a year. So this is the courtyard. Just before the body was discovered, the animal show was held here.
Looks like just a carnival. Or it looks just like a carnival. I bet it was lots of fun.
Oh, where are you going? Okay. The prisoners were gathered here when the body was found. So that means whoever saw the show has an alibi. Floor plans updated my organizer. Okay. We should start by checking the area for... Key! Oh, what? What? How did you get into this situation? Wait. How? What am I? Okay, this is the thumbnail. I don't care what happens in the rest of this video. This is the goddamn thumbnail right here. Is Kay being beat up by an elephant's trunk? How did you even get into this situation? Like, walk me through that. How did you? I can't take it seriously. It's just what? Like, did you try to pet it and then it started beating you? And in that case, like, you could just, like, you know, crawl away, like, drop to your knees and just crawl away. The elephant can't reach you. You there. Stop right this instant. Great, now you've made the elephant beat faster. Who was that? Oh, is it gonna be the supervisor? Oh! You. Hello, little miss. Oh, let's put some pepper on Bat's scarf so that he'll sneeze a lot, and then have him not tell him about it when he sticks his head into the lion so that it'll eat him. Yay! Oh, great. Look at all these memories of that case that keep rushing back to me. Yay. Stop clip-clopping up and down, Regina. Also, you should have been arrested for involuntary manslaughter.
It wasn't playing around, it was about to eat me.
It was bopping you in the head with the trunk. Regina Berry, ladies and gentlemen.
No way, that's impossible. This child doesn't bite. Often.
Often, huh?
People normally never get to play with an elephant up close. Isn't it wonderful? No, it's not. It's wonderful, right?
It was simply marvelous, little lady. Mr. Shields.
Really? Oh, that makes me so happy.
So how about a hug? As thanks. Hey, watch where you swing that thing. Weren't you taught not to hit people with your trunk?
Ha! It looks like his S-Sneak is friends with everyone.
I am an assistant of this defense attorney. My name is Miles Edgeworth.
Ah, I haven't introduced myself yet. I'm Regina Berry. Nice to meet ya. I'm the Great Thief and Defense Attorney's assistant. Kay Faraday.
That's a rather complicated job title. Assistant to the assistant.
And the one playing with Mr. Elephant is the defense attorney, Mr. Ray Shields. It's not Mr. Elephant, it's Asik, the fantastic Asian elephant. You're incredible, Regina. You made Asik stop right away. Well, I'm a wild animal tamer after all. Really? Then you must be Simon's supervisor.
Put that together all by yourself now, did you?
Yup, I'm the head of the very big circus.
So wait, so what happened to Mo the clown? What happened to that clown fuck? Did he get fired? Because that'd be hilarious if they just booted Mo out of the circus. Because if I remember correctly, the big top turnabout case, and maybe I don't remember correctly, because admittedly at that point I was just checked out of the case. I seem to remember Mo, no, because I made a joke about it. Because Mo, I was so drained that Mo said, I made a decision, and I said, oh, and then what decision would that be? And then he said, I'm gonna take over this. I decided I'm gonna take over the circus, and I just went, the circus is doomed. You're screwed. So I guess either the circus got screwed and then they just kicked him out, or they had the foresight that they would get screwed and kicked him out, because now Regina's at the helm. But okay.
One and only Regina Berry.
It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Ace Attorney Ray Shields. It looks like he's the one she has a handle on.
Yes, she's perfect.
What are you mumbling about, Kay?
Look at her. She's energetic, fun-loving, and healthy. She could be the new member of the Yatagarasu. She'd be perfect as a great thief.
Well, she would fit right in with the whole crime thing.
A great thief? That sounds like fun. We could make a huge ruckus with the animals. Ah, you can't make a ruckus. A great thief is supposed to be quiet and sneaky-like. But the show needs to have flash. Being quiet is kind of boring. Aw, guess she's not very thief-like after all.
It seems there has been a breakdown in negotiations.
Alright, let's get started. Mr. Edgeworth, let's check out anything that looks suspicious. We'll even look through the barbed wire if we have to.
Yes, we need to gather more information about the case. We should also try talking with anyone connected to the case. So we gotta talk to Regina. Hey, the investigation begin didn't start. Like usually pops up on the screen. All right, well, you want to look through the barbed wire? Let's start with that since we're the closest to it.
Danger! High voltage!
I'll decide how much voltage I can take. Points to anybody who gets that reference.
These signs really do exist. On the other side, you can see what appears to be the detention center's garden.
It's just as Warden Roden said. You can see the garden from her office.
If they weren't for this barbed wire, we could take a look at the garden on the other side.
That is Warden Roden's prized garden. I doubt she'd let us in so easily. Oh, okay. Well, that didn't seem to gain us any information. Hi, Regina. It's a long time no see. Head of the Wild Animal Tamer Division. Are you Mr. Keys' supervisor?
That's right. Very Big Circus was created by my daddy. But Daddy died in a murder incident. Your dad is... But after that, our current ringmaster made the circus even bigger. The ringmaster is Daddy's close friend. He's like a funny uncle.
Okay, so Mo is still the head of the circus. It's just that she's the head of the animal division. Okay. All right. So that's still the case. So my new question is, how has your circus not been shut down yet with that idiot at the helm?
Yep, Uncle Mo established the Wild Animal Tamer, Magic, and Ventriloquist divisions.
Oh, look at that! I have my own division. Yeah, funny. We get it because my name's this funny joke.
Well, only the Wild Animal Tamer and Ventriloquist divisions have subordinates, though. Very Big Circus is going to become even more fabulous.
Oh, get it? Because it's I'm Maximilian Galactica and I'm fabulous.
Yes, that sounds amazing.
The way these two are carrying on, I'd hate to put a damper on things. But I would not hate to put a damper on things. I'll happily continue on with other conversation topics. Could you tell us about the animal show?
It's an amazing show. It has a storyline and everything. What's more, it's a love story.
A love story?
Very nice. Are you the heroine, Regina Pie? Nope. The heroine of the show is Astique, and her partner is Raging the Tiger.
Oh, yes, Raging the Tiger. Ah, because we have such great memories with this tiger.
It's about the forbidden love between an elephant and a tiger.
Okay. Elephant and tiger? Forbidden love?
That's right. It's what they call a love triangle. Isn't it romantic?
You've only named two. Okay.
It sounds amazing, right, Mr. Edgeworth?
Heroine? Astique is a female elephant? That's what you focused on? Since it's a love triangle, shouldn't there be one more animal involved? See, Ray here is asking the real questions.
Yep, the third animal. He's the one who interferes with the love between Astique and Regent. Mr. Edgeworth, what do you think it is?
Please, let it be Allie the alligator. Since the circus pops a lion.
I think a crow would be nice. The third animal is a naughty little monkey.
Alright, so let's review. We got a love story between an elephant, a tiger, and a monkey. Just to make sure I got this straight. The scale suddenly got smaller.
Ah, Money the Monkey! No, the one who plays the role of the monkey is
What? What?
Money's a little too small.
Okay, I'm confused. What?
He's like the villain who tries to break up the love between Astique and Regent. How will Astique and Regent control their own destiny? Isn't it wonderful? I guess?
I thought Mr. Keys just did all the grunt work.
Wouldn't you feel sorry for Simon if he didn't get to perform on stage?
I don't think I would. Gotta be honest, my life would be completely unaffected with the knowledge that he is not performing on stage. Could you tell me about the preparations for the show?
Simon handled everything, so I don't know that much about it. Simon insisted on it. He wanted me to focus on the show. I saw Simon doing something near the well, though.
Near the well? The well? If I recall, it was behind the stage. I better go take a look at it later.
He even moved this giant cage all by himself. Simon is such a nice guy.
Okay, well, if you keep, I mean, if you're gonna keep praising him as a nice guy, then I'm left to assume that it must have been him, because typically the more a character says, hey, look at how nice this person is, that just ends up being like, all right, so how soon until you betray me?
That sounds like something Simon would do.
While crying profusely.
During the preparation, Simon went back and forth between the workroom and the courtyard. We were using the workroom to store our equipment. Only Simon entered that room, so I don't know anything about it.
The workroom? Was it the one where we found the dead body? So, Simon was the only one who went to the workroom, eh?
Man, the bad news just keeps on coming. Mr. Lawyer, please promise me you'll help Simon. Don't worry! Despite his looks, Mr. Edgeworth is really amazing!
Despite my looks? And just what is wrong with the way I look? Yeah, come on, what, you're gonna dunk on Edgeworth? Really? You're gonna dunk on Edgeworth for the way he looks? Come on, Kay. Oh, hello, Mr. Roland. I just said Mr. Roland. Hello, Miss Roland.
There you are, Regina, darling. Ah, Miss Roland. I was looking all over. I was looking all over for you. I wanted to have a little chat with you.
I was tempted to give her a Roz voice like, Wazowski, you didn't file your paperwork last night. But I feel like that would get annoying after a while. Then again, I'm guessing most of my voices get annoying after a while, so it would just be another part for the course. Okay, I don't know, let's talk to her. Could you tell me a little about this prison?
Currently, this place is my pride and joy, which I like to call our home. When I first came here, this prison was in a terrible state.
Terrible state? You mean the prisoners of Tattletoons?
There are no bad children in my family. It was the environment that was the terrible. That's why, after giving it a lot of thought, I enlisted the help of the animals. Being together with animals will soften up even the most hardened criminals.
I don't know about that. I mean, if you get someone in there who's petrified of animals, then you're just gonna scare them into submission, which I don't know. I wouldn't call it softening them up.
Right now, everyone has returned to their most honest self. Just take a look at Frankie.
Frank saw it. A model prisoner who was trying to steal from a dead body. Yeah, I would not call Frank Sawin a model anything.
There are lots of model prisoners here, but Frankie is number one. He's proactive with his job training and helps out with the chores. Don't the other model prisoners do job training and chores? Don't be silly. They all do, of course. It's just that Frankie here, he has his sights set on something different.
Something feels strange.
In any case, he's a very good boy. Please get along with one another.
Okay.
The enchanting music, the prancing animals, the very big circus is fabulous.
Speaking from experience, I don't know that I would share that sentiment.
If you come here, you can see a show once a month. Really? Then maybe I should...
No. Okay, stop the train of thought right there. Was she just thinking about committing a crime? Once a month, you said. Is it always the very big circus?
Of course. I'm Regina Darling's biggest fan.
I think the voice crack actually made that line better. It was unintentional, but I think it helped the delivery.
My darling Regina, she's just so fabulous. She's such a cutie pie, I could just eat her up. She really likes her darling Regina. That's why I'm worried about poor little Simon. If he is found guilty, Regina Darling will be heartbroken.
What?
Mr. Lawyer, please take care of little Simon. If there's anything I can help with, please don't hesitate to ask.
Okay, I don't think there's anything you can help with. I'm just gonna leave you alone. Okay. So there was a well behind the thing, you said? I can't seem to get behind the thing. Can I? Oh, this one. Hello, Frank Sawit. So nice to see you again.
Mr. Attorney, how are we doing today? Hey, we just met a few moments ago. Please do forgive me. Ever since I've come here, I've been working on refining my speech.
That's not the only thing that needs refining.
Right now, I'm helping out with the cleanup after the show. But if there's anything you need, please let me know. You'll have my full cooperation.
Okay, helping out the show.
I'm in the middle of volunteer work right now. As you can see, I am a model prisoner.
Yeah, sure. That definitely doesn't contradict how you've acted in the past.
I've been reborn inside this prison.
Reborn as a thief.
That devil made me do it. Okay. How can you blame the devil? You're a disgrace to the thieves. I have nothing to say. I still have much to learn.
As a thief?
But as you can see, I've exchanged my bracelet for a working one.
Yeah, because we caught you. We caught you with a broken bracelet. You would not have exchanged it if we hadn't caught you, you little shit.
I will continue to devote myself to being a model prisoner.
Again with the model prisoner. Give it a rest already. We all know you're full of shit. Alright, pet grooming.
I'm training to pay my debt to society once I become eligible for parole. So you were training instead of watching the animal show?
So there were only 2 people who did not watch the show, Solid and Dojin. Why didn't you say anything about Dojin earlier?
Well, if you asked any inmate at this prison, they'd all think twice before telling you. That person is like the ruler of this place.
A ruler who can't leave his cell.
Around here, we call him the supplier.
The supplier?
If you ask him nicely, he can provide you with anything you want.
What is this, a Shawshank Redemption?
What? Is that allowed? Normally it's not allowed, but with him it's another story. He supposedly has a secret route to procure these goods.
Oh, does he now? As a supplier, Dojin would be in a position of power.
However, I've put all that behind me. All I care about now is applying mud packs to the animals.
Mud packs?
I coat the animal's fur with my mineral-rich mud packs to give it a beautiful shine. To help with my training, I give them to all the animals in prison.
So I'm guessing the mud, the substance on the other side of that glove is the mud pack then, which further confirms that that was indeed Frank Solid's glove that we found in the workroom. Mud, huh? It could be related to that piece of evidence. Yeah, it's the glove. I should present it to him. Well, we have it, so let's open up Organizer, and I probably should have pressed the present button first. I don't know why I opened the court record or the Organizer before doing this. There we go, present.
That's the rubber glove I dropped.
Where did the mud on this glove come from?
That's the mud from my mud packs. At the same time, I was practicing applying my mud packs.
Could you tell me when this took place on the day of the incident?
Since the animal show had started, I'd say it was around 9 a.m. The mud packs turned the animals' bodies pitch black, and my heart was pure white. I was totally engrossed with covering the animals in mud.
Prison life must be taxing on his stress levels. Rubber glove data updated in my Organizer. Okay, interesting.
Thanks to the warden's policies, I can undergo job training here. I owe her a debt of gratitude.
Okay, is that all we have to say? Yes, it is. Great. Have a nice day. I don't need to speak to you again for a while. Okay. So, you said there was someone said something about the well here. Let's check the well. This crude-looking well seems handcrafted. Was it built by the inmates?
There are a bunch of tools lying around the well. A long piece of rope, and a heavy-looking weight. It weighs 33 pounds. It says so right there. There's even a couple of pulleys.
Okay. Okay, please stop touching other people's things.
Stingy pants, I'm just checking stuff out. It's not like I'm going to take them home with me.
Still, these tools, what were they used for?
But really, I would have loved to show everyone yesterday. You did a wonderful job on the stage, Regina, darling. I'm so happy to hear that. I'm glad all the prisoners came to see it. Well, about that, just between you and me, not everyone came to see the show.
That would be Dojin and Solid, I imagine.
There were 3 people who didn't see
3 people?
Unbelievable, really?
Excuse me, but did you say there were 3 prisoners who did not see the show?
That's right. I took a count and there were 3 empty seats, and we even had the correct number of seats set out. Doesn't that seem weird to you, Mr. Edgeworth?
It does. We had thought that Dojin and Solid were the only 2 prisoners who were not present in the courtyard during the show, but that doesn't add up. Where did the 3rd person go? Further investigation is needed.
I was having so much fun talking to you, Regina, darling. It's time to feed my baby.
Allie the alligator? Allie the alligator? Are we finally gonna get to meet Allie the alligator? Ah! Allie the alligator! It's an alligator!
Oh, Allie, you look as cute as ever.
Hey, Allie the alligator! I predicted your existence a year ago before I even knew that you were a thing that could possibly exist. So, that's pretty neat. You look kinda terrifying, though. So, mixed feelings is an understatement.
Oh, how cute! So her name is Allie? Yeah, she's Allie the alligator. She's my favorite out of all my family. How lovely! I want to try petting it.
No! You do not try petting an alligator. That's how you lose a hand, and possibly more.
If Regina wants to pet it, go right ahead. I'll allow it.
Yeah, that's how you. Then again, maybe that would just be getting your comeuppance for what happened to Bat. But still,
they seem pretty excited. We need to go check the prison cells, don't we?
That's right. Let's look for the 3rd prisoner who didn't see the animal show. Yeah, you 2 can have fun petting the alligator and losing 1 or possibly more of your limbs. We will go investigate elsewhere. March 28th, 4:02 p.m. prison hallway. Gumshoe? Gumshoe? Yeah, it's Gumshoe. Gumshoe! Detective Gumshoe, I take it the investigation is running smoothly. The judge and that prosecutor haven't shown up yet. Oh yeah! I also got your message, sir. What was the result of the examination of the victim's cell? We had the jackpot, sir. Traces of blood were found on the cell floor. There wasn't a whole lot there, though.
This should prove that the murder occurred in the holding cell.
Indeed, the probability has increased. However, we still cannot say for certain. I thought you'd say that, sir, so I asked the lab guys to look into it a little further. They're running an analysis on the blood, so we'll know soon if it's the victims or not.
Way to go, Gummy! Good thinking!
Detective, you've outdone yourself. What caused this sudden foresight? I'm actually a little hurt that you're so surprised by it, sir. I hope nothing bad comes of this. Wait till I get updated my organizer.
Once we get the results, we can prove that the scene was the holding cell, which leaves finding out how that doggy managed to sneak his way in here.
I'm guessing it has something to do with that secret route that they mentioned earlier. Just leave that to me, pal. Since another prosecutor isn't here, we can investigate as much as we want. That's why I brought my secret weapons with— Oh, your secret weapons? Are they the same secret weapons from the first game? That's right, pal. They've gotten us out of a few jams before. They've gotten us out of exactly one jam before, but, well, I guess technically two, because we found the Steel Samurai balloon canister, and then we used it to nail Von Karma, so technically two jams, but... Anyway. Take a gander at Dick Gumshoe's 7 secret weapons. We've added 4, have we?
Looks like he'll come in handy. Want to take up his offer, Miles?
Detective, please allow us the use of your secret weapons. Sure thing, sir. First, I'll give you a rundown. Secret weapon number 1, the trusty metal detector. Perfect for finding all kinds of metallic objects, as its name implies. Next, secret weapon number 2, everyone's favorite pal, Missile! Yeah! He can track any scent you want, especially the scent of food.
He's much cuter than Mr. Doden's dog.
And then, secret weapon number 3, it's, this.
Isn't that a fishing pole? What are you trying to catch?
Oh, actually, I just brought it by accident. Never mind that. What's next, detective? That's all of them, sir.
What? You called them the 7 secret weapons. What happened to the other 4? There's only 3 of them.
That's all I have for now, pal. We can use the rest next time. I can't just reveal them all at once. Why do you think they're called secret weapons? Oh, Gumshoe. It doesn't matter. We'll just use the 3 that he's provided. Alright, which one do you want to use? So where are we investigating? We're investigating the, if we're gonna go investigate the cell, then it probably makes sense to use Missile, right? Because if we're gonna, we can probably track the trail of blood, right? To try to figure out, like, how they got from one room to the next. I'm gonna use Missile to try to track the scent. You want Missile, sir? Hey, pal, over here, Missile.
Aww. Ah, there he is.
First, let's decide what center he should track down. We are searching for the route Dogen's dog used to get to the detention cell. This route would have also been the same path used to carry the body to the prison.
So if we haven't tracked the scent of the body, that should lead us to the path.
Don't you smell something sweet?
Really? All I can smell is the scent of blood.
It's a very faint scent, like cake or something.
The scent of cake from the body.
Alright, Missile, get a good whiff of that scent, pal.
He's got the scent.
Missile's on the case. Come on, let's follow after him. Missile is on the case.
That way he's headed towards the special cell. And he's gone straight inside. Yes, let's follow him.
March 28th, 4:24 p.m. Prison special cell.
This is Dogen's cell, but it looks like he's absent at the moment. Maybe he's being interrogated. What's in here?
Shh! I think he's found something.
What could there be in this room? Mr. Edgeworth, we better take a look.
What did he find? There's a bell on the ground. Was this here last time?
Look at this, Mr. Edgeworth. There's a small chisel here.
I'm not well versed in woodworking, but this seems to be a pocket-sized chisel.
A pocket-sized chisel? It must be convenient to have one where wherever you go.
Is that from a thief's point of view?
No, it's from a great thief's point of view.
She didn't even skip a beat. Okay, did something change on the chessboard, maybe?
It's Dogen's chessboard. It still has that hound piece on it. Ah, the chessboard has legs. Aren't these things expensive?
They can be. This is very good craftsmanship.
Mr. Dogen, playing chess is kind of unexpected, you know? I figured he'd be more of a Go player or something like that.
Go? Do you play Go, Kay?
I'm really good at Go Bang.
But that's not Go. Okay, is he smelling the food? A teacup and biscuits. I suppose he has his tea time in here too.
Playing chess while drinking tea in his cell. Isn't this going a bit overboard with the special treatment? It's like he gets whatever he wants.
Don't complain to me. You should tell him yourself.
I think I'll pass on that.
Okay, what is... did he use the chisels? Is that what we're looking for here? What are we looking... I don't know what we're looking for. It's the chisels Dojin uses. More than enough for him to murder someone with.
Speaking of chisels, it kind of looks like someone used a chisel on your forehead, Mr. Edgeworth.
Oh. And what is that supposed to mean?
See? That furrow between your brows getting deeper. It looks like it's just like a carving.
I would leave the subject alone if I were you. Missile, maybe... This is what you're bargaining at? Whoa! Hey! Knock it off, pal! Chocolate cake is bad for dogs. If that's how it's gonna be, I'll eat it all myself. We followed him here for a piece of cake.
Good for you. But it looks like someone else has a problem with that. That wasn't fair, Gummy! I wanted to eat it too!
I doubt it's wise to eat food you find lying around a prison. Anyway, I guess Missile was barking at the cake, sir. That was pointless. Yeah, that was a complete waste of time.
Is that police dog going to get the job done?
It appears I may have made a mistake in choosing Missile. He's fine, pal. We just following his stomach instead of the nose. Let's track down the center of the body for real this time. Not Missile. Oh, okay. I'm glad we took that detour. Oh, looks like he's found something else, sir. Now it's this cell. This will be Mr. Elbert's cell. I'd like to examine the interior. Detective, call a guard. Roger that, sir. Good work, Detective. By the way, is J. Elbert still being held in the disciplinary room? No, he should have already returned. He was present during the noon roll call. He may have been assigned to work someplace else. I see. Well then, maybe examine the cell. Yes, sir. Okay, what are we looking at this time? Okay, so we have an hourglass. We have an actual sink in this room this time. We have one of those punching things. We have boxing gloves. We have a very fancy trash can. We have a tire swing. Interesting. Okay, and then we have who's on the punching bag? The sun. Oh, that's a sandbag. Oh, I thought that was a. Oh.
Ah! You want a box too, Missile?
Ha! Look at him go! It can't be. Detective, move this sandbag at once. Yes, sir. Oh! A hole? This is... Hey, Missile! Come back here!
I'm going too!
Hold it! I'll stop them, sir! It's too tight for me, sir! Detective! It can't be helped. I'll have to wait for her to I'll have to wait for her to contact me. So they just jumped in the hole. Hello, Kay, are you alright?
Don't get so worked up! Right now I'm in the detention center.
You're in the detention center? So there's just a hole that goes from Albert's cell. Okay. Well, I guess we found the root of the body then.
That hole comes out of Knightley's cell.
Well, okay. Well, I guess there's our connection then. We figured out how they got the body in here. Really? Stay where you are. I'm coming over there now. Yikers. Well, this certainly changes things. So where does the tunnel... How did we miss the tunnel? Where does it let out in this room? Does it let out under the bed? Okay.
Mr. Edgeworth! Heh, I really helped out, didn't I?
Indeed. She doesn't appear to be injured. The floorboards have been ripped off from under the bed, sir. Yep, that's what I thought. I figured the only place it could possibly have been would be under the bed, because it's the only place we didn't check. I see. It seems we found what we were looking for. The passageway between the detention center and prison is blocked by solid doors. However, there was a secret underground tunnel beneath it. We were following a sweet scent and arrived here. That means the scent must have come from Knightley's body. Okay, that's interesting. Come to think of it. His body was covered in dirt. It may have been caused by passing through the tunnel. Okay, what was the inside of the tunnel like?
It was pitch black, so I really couldn't see much, but I took some photos. Please show us.
Okay, well, okay, so that's what happened then. So the dog, so what happened in that footage then is that the dog, the dog crawled through the tunnel, jumped up, bit the guy in the neck, and then dragged his body through the tunnel into J. Edgeworth's cell. Yikes. Okay, that's, well, I mean, we have our explanation now, so that's nice. Spoons and forks. When these used to dig the... Okay, what are you, the penguins from Madagascar? You dug a tunnel with spoons and forks? But more importantly, what are these footprints? They're dog footprints. These footprints, could they belong to a dog? Tunnel footprints data jotted down in my organizer. This will surely be vital evidence. However, before we consider that, we have a big problem. A problem? J. Edgeworth could use this tunnel to move around freely. Detective, confirm his whereabouts post-haste. Perhaps he's...
You may be right, sir. This is a big deal.
After speaking with the guards, the search for J. Edgeworth was carried out immediately. They searched every nook and cranny of the detention center and the prison. But in the end, they found no sign of him. Well, there's no way he could have escaped. Unless there's another hole we don't know about.
Did you contact the police?
Yes, ma'am. We have already done that. We've set up a security perimeter around the prison, ma'am.
Right. This is the first scandal in our prison's history.
We're so sorry.
She's completely different from before.
Mr. Edgeworth, was it? Thank you for finding the escapee's tunnel. But it's a little too late. Mr. Edgeworth has long since left here.
I don't believe he has gone beyond the detention center. There are security gates located at the exit of the detention center. I believe it would have been difficult to get through those, wouldn't you agree?
Maybe he has another tunnel.
We certainly can't deny the possibility. However...
Anyway, there's no use in you being here now. Please return to your investigation.
Yes, we'll do that.
You guys get back to your post too.
Yes, ma'am. Detective Gumshoe, sir. We've got the results of that blood test you requested. Good work, pal.
These are the forensic results on the bloodstain found in the Knightley's cell.
So what's it say, Mr. Edgeworth?
The blood is confirmed to have been Knightley's. Alright, so there's our confirmation. So that's what happened then. The dog was ordered, possibly by the, what's it? I mean, so either he was commanded by the assassin dude to do it, or, like I've been saying, especially since we now know that there was a sweet scent, and Missile followed the sweet scent, maybe the dog was attracted to the cake, as I said in the beginning, and that's what caused him to bite on his neck, so then he bites him on his neck, and drags him back through the tunnel into Edgeworth's cell. The only part we're stuck on is how he got from the cell to the workroom. That's where we're stuck. Hey now, that's good news. We found the bloodstain in the Knightley's cell and discovered that the tunnel the dog used. Furthermore, the security camera shows footage of a dog attacking Knightley in his cell. We have all the evidence we need. It's time we ask Dojin a few questions.
Dojin, did you say? Please, use utmost caution. That man even has henchmen outside of the prison.
Outside of the prison? Is this related to his secret trade route as the supplier?
The police have been searching for Dojin's henchmen for ages. I've also been helping them, but...
So that means back then.
Shall we still want to talk? Even after all the trouble you went through to get the evidence transferred from the precinct?
That's right, I don't know how many times I've tried. I can't report back empty-handed.
The assassin sure is one tough cookie, huh?
You want evidence transferred from the precinct?
Yes, we borrowed all the evidence concerning Dojin. I've been interrogating him personally in my office, but no matter how much evidence we have on him, we can't get a single word out of him.
The warden interrogates him himself. Why go that far?
Lose your focus and he'll eat you alive. Be on your guard.
Whoa, you made Uncle Ray a little nervous. Okay, let's go get the information on what exactly happened with this freaking dog. March 28th, 5:55 p.m. Prisons. Hey, look who it is. It's the best and Justice Courtney. Just in time. George Courtney, what are you doing here? Questioning a prisoner. Did you forget that we are investigating as well? Or rather, have you forgotten my warning? If you value your badge, you should not have appeared before me again. I'm sorry if you thought that I would abide by those words. I won't overlook something important just to heed your warning. I've come for testimony about the truth of this case which you have overlooked.
You mean to say that you require my humble services?
As I promised, I've returned to prove that you are the culprit.
Interesting. Do tell. Before that, you should first listen to our reasoning.
We can say with confidence that Simon Keyes is the culprit. Only Simon Keyes could have moved Mr. Knightley into the prison. And we can show proof of this fact. But first, I'd like to hear your resolve, Prosecutor Edgeworth, if our reasoning is correct. Will you submit it to us? Your prosecutor's badge.
Eep! You'll deprive him of his badge? Is that a threat, pal?
No, it's not a threat. Rather, an act of compassion. Normally, I wouldn't even have taken notice of you, since you have no right to investigate. However, if you are able to show proper resolve, I would be willing to let you be my opponent. Are you willing to risk it? Your prosecutor's badge?
Mr. Edgeworth!
Mr. Edgeworth, sir! Very well. I trust my own reasoning, but moreover, at the moment, I am currently a defense attorney's assistant, first and a prosecutor second. I will not sully the good name of the Edgeworth law offices. I intend to see my job through. I won't yield to your threats.
So be it. This bravery or simply foolishness on the goddess of law's behalf? I shall be the judge of that. Sebastian, allow me to.
Yeah, I got it. I'm counting on you, Justin.
Yeah, because you can't do anything by yourself. You probably don't remember what you ate for breakfast this morning. Movement to the prison.
I presume you know of the incident Mr. Knightley's caused the day before yesterday. He attacked a guard and stole his keys.
Do we have proof of that? I don't know if we have proof of that.
Afterwards, Simon Keyes stopped by his cell with an animal cage from the show.
I mean, if you're gonna be the prosecutor here and I'm gonna be the defense attorney, I'm gonna ask you for some proof in that regard.
He then hid in the cage while it was moved to the prison workroom. So Mr. Keyes went through his cell after all. After hearing you talk about the security camera yesterday, we investigated it ourselves. Why don't you have a look? I have here a printout of the security camera footage. This is the moment when Mr. Keyes visited Knightley. Exactly. As you can see, the cage creates a huge blind spot in the cell. By using this blind spot, Mr. Knightley could have entered the cage. That is our reasoning.
A blind spot. That means the camera doesn't actually show him entering the cage. At this time, there's still the possibility that Knightley never left his cell.
But why would he be hiding inside an animal cage? Mr. Knightley was planning to escape from prison. That is the only possibility. A prison escape? That's so cool! First Mr. Elbert, and now Mr. Knightley? I won't let them show me up!
Okay, this isn't the time to get excited. J. Elbert's escape is no laughing matter.
Simon Keyes was aiding Mr. Knightley in his escape. In other words, he was an accomplice. Not bad, Simon! Don't praise him! That cage was transported temporarily to the workroom. Originally, Mr. Knightley was to remain hidden until the end of the animal show. He would then be carried out along with the cage. I presume that was the plan. However, midway through the plan, he was betrayed by Simon Keyes and murdered.
Judge Courtney's reasoning does appear to make sense. However, there must be a hole somewhere. I must not overlook anything. And overlook anything I shall not. Alright, movement to the prison. Here we go. Okay. So, the first thing I'm gonna do, aside from humming along with the awesome music, of course, is press more information here. Do you have proof Knightley stole the keys?
It is the only explanation as to why Mr. Knightley would have attacked the guard. We will know for certain the moment the guard regains consciousness.
Is that really true? Shall I ask Just Courtney for more information? Oh, of course, we absolutely ask her for more information. There's one point of your reasoning that is odd. If Knightley did indeed steal the key, I'd expect he'd try to escape immediately. Was it really necessary for him to wait for Mr. Keyes to help him escape?
He simply chose the method with the highest probability of success. After stealing the key, he concealed it on his person.
That? He definitely did not do that. That he definitely did not do, because we searched his body and we did not find the key. We did not find the key when we searched it.
As he waited for the opportune moment, that is what I believe.
He concealed the key. Judge Courtney, such an oversight is unlike you. Knightley could not have concealed the key, and I can prove it. Knightley did not hide the key, and the proof is the key itself. We didn't find it. When we searched his body. Haven't the guards informed you yet? They searched Knightley after he attacked the guard, and the key was nowhere to be found. Since the key's location is unknown, your logic doesn't hold.
That is not an issue. There is an explanation. Mr. Knightley had the key. It simply wasn't found. The reason being, he concealed it inside the chessboard.
The chessboard? You mean the one that concealed the murder weapon?
Come now, how do we know whether or not the murder weapon was really there? What? Take some responsibility for your own words! That was all Sebastian's idea.
Oh yeah, and that's such a glowing review, I must admit. So those two don't always agree on their reasoning.
In other words, once we put all the pieces together, Mr. Knightley concealed the key he stole from the guard inside the chessboard. When Simon Keyes arrived, Mr. Knightley used the key to slip out of his cell. He entered the animal cage and was transported to the workroom, all thanks to his accomplice, Simon Keyes. Mr. Knightley had planned to be carried outside after the show had ended. However, he was betrayed by his accomplice and murdered during the circus performance.
Mr. Keyes performed in the show. He would have had no opportunity to murder him during the circus performance.
No opportunity? Is that so? A story plays itself out on the stage, and such was the case with the animal show.
So, she examined the content of the show.
The suspect plays the role of the villain who antagonizes.
Is that gonna be your proof? Is that gonna be your proof? That he plays the villain in the show and is therefore the villain in real life? That's gonna be your logic.
In the final act, the villain is defeated by the heroine's love, and all ends well. At that point, the suspect in the role of the villain is blown away by the heroine's burning love and makes his exit.
Blown away by the elephant?
Was he hurt? After being blown away, the suspect disappeared from the stage. The suspect was absent from the stage for about 15 minutes.
Are you saying that the crime was committed during that time?
Even in such a short period of time, it would still be possible to carry out the murder.
Don't you think so? No. There's absolutely no way he could possibly have gone there. There's no way. So he committed the crime 15 minutes and then returned to the stage. That may have been possible if the crime scene had been the prison. There's no way he could have possibly been to the detention center that amount of time. Just Courtney, the actual crime scene took place in the detention center.
I'm afraid I can't accept that.
But we have the evidence that proves the blood was there. This is not the hill to die on. As for evidence, I have it.
Well then, please show us your evidence. Where is the evidence that shows the scene of the crime?
Well, it's the detention center. We have the floor that was wiped up that shows that it was absolutely there.
This is the floor? Oh, goddess of law, I'm unable to comprehend your mysterious ways.
This is what we discovered. The area here was treated positive for Mr. Knightley's blood. Ah, for sim music!
This blood test, can it really be trusted? To begin with, how were you able to conduct a scientific investigation?
Sadly, Emma Scott was not here to help us out on that one. But we did have good old Gumshoe.
I happen to have a subordinate. I can't vouch for his competence, but he's a man that I trust.
Gumshoe will accept the compliment.
That detective, that concerns me. I cannot think why one would disturb the order of law. The Prosecutorial Investigation Committee's influence goes as far as the police department.
Gummy's in trouble! Forgive me, detective. I'm afraid something bad may come of this.
I will accept the fact that blood was found at the detention center as evidence. However...
How ridiculous! This is unthinkable of you, you third-rate prosecutor.
You're gonna call me a third-rate prosecutor? Really? Mr. DeBest, you've completely forgotten about him. Oh! Get toasted!
Get toasted, DeBest. It's a giant contradiction in your statement. According to the security tape, a dog killed Knightley in a cell.
Yes. That contradicts nothing. We have the dog's footprints in the tunnel.
Then, after we left the cell, the blood on the floor was wiped away. Ah! Did the dog wipe away the blood stains?
As if that could happen. That's irrelevant. We have proof that...
That is possible if my Anubis, right, boy?
Okay, well then never mind. It's still irrelevant because we have the dog's footprints in the tunnel, but now he's just confirming it's possible, so you can bug off now, please.
That was one of the tricks I taught him while I was still in the outside world. He makes sure to hide any bloodstain he makes. So as not to leave behind any evidence.
Gotcha. I was saved, if only by chance. Shouldn't you have taught your dog to shake or something?
Anubis also performs that trick very well, but the shake I taught him is a little different from others. First, he bites the victim's hand.
Stop! 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 I don't want to hear anymore! I see. I understand. Prosecutor Edgeworth, it appears you've gathered a good hand. I'm glad you understand.
My argument isn't over yet. Okay, even if you think it wasn't, trust me, we all decided it was over a long time ago.
Objection overruled.
Ha! Get toasted by your own partner, the best. Hey now, that's a little harsh. No, it's not.
Sebastian, would you allow me the privilege of explaining?
Sure, Justine.
Do you finally realize the murder occurred in the detention center? Therefore, that assassin's pet dog...
Unless I can understand how the dog was able to enter and... Okay, well that's easy. We have his footprints in the tunnel.
I'm afraid I cannot accept your logic, Prosecutor Edgeworth.
I've been waiting for you to say that. Now, let me show you. This evidence shows the route the dog used to go between the detention center and the prison. We have the tunnel footprints.
This photo.
It shows a secret tunnel hidden in the prison.
That's impossible. A secret tunnel?
This tunnel was dug by the escaped prisoner, J. Elbert. It begins in his prison cell, and it's connected to a holding cell in the detention center. Namely, the victim's cell.
I'm shocked. How did this...
Dojin, you must have known of this, since you used this tunnel to commit murder.
In the name of the goddess of law, I hereby reject Prosecutor Edgeworth's claim.
What do you mean?
Evidence is everything. That remains true here, just as in the courtroom. Isn't that right? I have evidence here. Horace Knightley's autopsy report.
Oh, autopsy report?
Since when?
Why are you surprised?
This was delivered straight from the police a short while ago. It's not complete yet, more of a preliminary report.
Oh, so do you mean the autopsy report's gonna get updated?
Cause of death, stab wound to the neck.
Oh. Oh. So that's fine. That changes nothing because we still have proof. We still have proof that the dog definitely bit Knightley in the neck. So this proves that he was definitely attacked in his cell, and then he was dragged to the tunnel, and then let out in the prison, and then maybe the dog could have brought it to Dojin's cell to finish it off, or to finish him off. That's especially since he has all those chisels lying around, right? Because if he has all those chisels, then it would stand to reason that he could have used one of those to commit the murder.
The victim was stabbed multiple times in the same spot with a sharp object. Although they were unable to determine the actual shape of the murder weapon, they have clear proof that it was a sharp metal object. So do you still stand by your claim that a dog used a sharp metal object to kill the victim?
No, I've shifted to he definitely attacked the victim and dragged him to the tunnel, but now someone else probably finished him off. And best guess would probably be Dojin used one of the chisels in his cell room. But wait, this tunnel contains the dog's footprints.
Perhaps it may have been one of Anubis' walking courses. I can never tell when Anubis gets up to outside my cell.
Something feels unnatural about all this, but I have no evidence.
Courtney Pie, he sure pulled out a hidden gem at the very last moment.
She waited for the perfect time to reveal the autopsy report. Have I let her out with me again? I mean, she hasn't...
Appointed Attorney Shields. Here is the autopsy report from earlier. I apologize for the delay.
No, it's alright. Thank you.
Okay, so that hasn't really destroyed my logic yet. I still have a pretty good idea of what probably happened.
Mr. Shields, I don't believe it's necessary to hold hands while exchanging documents. I'd advise you to stop.
Huh?
Persist any longer, and I shall call on the strength of the goddess of law.
I'll be careful. Just in. Well done, just as I planned. Oh, shut the hell up!
I only acted in accordance to your instructions.
Really? This was his idea, uh-huh.
The autopsy report came straight from the police. I can't refute it. However, if the murder weapon wasn't the dog, Dojin will be cleared of suspicion. The merciful goddess of law so distress. Or so decrees. If you choose to yield now, your badge will not be taken.
What will you do, sir? She says that, but my answer remains the same. Judge Courtney, it is as I said before. I will see my job through. I will not yield to the threats.
So even now, you still refuse to give up? If you want to keep your badge, this may be your last chance.
Right now, I am a defense attorney, assistant. What I protect is not my badge, but my client.
The goddess of law grows weary of your sentiment.
Now we're talking. Miles is starting to understand that a defense attorney never gives up. Actually, those were the words of your old man.
My father?
It really is in your blood. You're a spitting image of him right now. You said it yourself. You've changed since you were tainted by Von Karma. It's only now that I'm actually come to believe it.
Mr. Shields.
Well then, Miles. Now's the time to put those skills to the test. Think beyond your limits. If the murder weapon was a sharp object, does that really negate your reasoning? It really doesn't.
The murder weapon was a sharp object.
That's it!
There were 5 chisels placed inside this special cell. Dojin is a former assassin. It's quite possible he could kill someone with just a chisel. In that case, the weapon that killed Horace Knightley was... Is that all? Well then, I suppose you'll be giving up. Evidence is everything. Didn't you say the murder weapon was a sharp metal object? However, such a weapon has yet to be found.
What? So what are you trying to say?
The only other slice of evidence is the actual murder weapon itself, and that was in plain sight this whole time. The real murder weapon is Dojin's chisel.
What did you say? Take responsibility for your own statements.
The scene of the crime was in Mr. Knightley's cell.
You said so yourself. No, wrong, incorrect. The holding cell was the scene where the dog leapt up at Knightley and bit him. That was the scene where the dog attacked him. That is not the scene of the crime. The evidence changes, then so will my logic. That too is courtroom procedure, is it not? If the chisel was used, that means the killer was human. However, the fact remains that we cannot deny the security photo.
Yeah, what about that photo?
I'll give you the answer. This photo shows the moment the dog leapt at the victim.
Dojin's dog leapt at Knightley.
However, the victim did not die at that time. Didn't die? He was only knocked out and not unconscious. The dog didn't move a dead body, it moved the unconscious Knightley, and the real killer was its owner.
I see, if the victim was moved, it would have been possible for Dojin to commit the murder. And use the murder weapon!
Indeed, the killer is Steven Dojin. It can only be you.
I bet your teacher used to write that on your report card. Needs to pay more attention on what others say.
Says the man who forgot what happened 60 seconds ago.
I would think that describes you more.
Oh! Toasted again! Just keep the toast coming, Edgeworth.
We examine that room every crook and granny.
Okay. This man, I swear, he is Biff Tannen. He constantly messes up the freaking the metaphors. Well, not metaphors, but he messes up the phrases and the sayings frequently.
We examined all 4 Mr. Dojin's chisels.
Wait, weren't there 5? Wait a minute. I thought there were 5 chisels. Weren't there 5? No, there were 5. There were definitely 5.
Thanks to me? Whatever do you mean? When I came here earlier, I saw 5 chisels.
That's right, there were definitely 5 there before.
So the one that disappeared was the smallest one, presumably for portable use. Dojin, where was that chisel?
I'm not free to leave. If I were a betting man, I'd say it's probably on the dog, right? Because the chisel was attached to a bell, and the dog, whenever the dog chews up, there's always a bell, right? So it's probably on the dog. That'd be my best guess.
Not free to leave? In that case, he mustn't have been free to hide the deadly chisel either. Dojin, you just dug your own grave. It seems you know something. Would you care to show it?
Oh, absolutely.
Dojin couldn't leave, so the place he hid the chisel is in the special. He gave it to his dog in the special cell.
Dojin is a prisoner, so we can't leave his cell freely. Perhaps he could have sent his dog out to dispose of it. But he would not have been able to confirm the weapon's location.
So what does that leave?
Above all else, special metal tools are allowed in this cell. Even if one were to appear here, no one would suspect a thing. You'd be a fool not to take advantage of that.
I see.
Of course, it's always safest if you do something yourself.
But I examined everything. I didn't find any hiding places in his cell.
Yeah, because he probably gave it to the dog. I am certain that the murder weapon is here. The reason you haven't found it yet is because it was cleverly hidden.
Yeah, you say I hid it?
Where exactly? On the dog. You hid it on the dog. You absolutely hid it on the dog. Think, where could he have hidden it? I have to remember everything up to this point. There must be some clue. Yeah, I know. He hid it in the dog. Yep, that's where he hid it.
Ah, does this mean what I think it means? Well, let's get going, Mr. Edgeworth.
Come to think of it, that dog hasn't barked at me once today. Previously, when I came to the special cell, it barked on Dojin's command. That's it! That's what has been out of place. There's just one place he could have hidden the murder weapon.
Giving up already? How dull, how dull.
I will present evidence. This piece of evidence shows where you concealed the murder weapon. Take that! Hasn't your dog been awfully quiet today?
Now that you mention it, he hasn't barked at all. Before, it was... Sir and Dojin, open that dog's mouth now.
Anubis isn't barking needlessly. I ordered him to do that before. In that case, I order it to bark now.
Naturally, you should be able to, if you have nothing to hide.
It was inevitable. Anubis, show them your mouth.
Haha! Right where we thought it was. As you can see, a dog of this size can easily conceal a small chisel in its...
What? Why a chisel? The dog really had one in its mouth?
I thought he was unusually quiet. Was he unable to follow the discussion?
Sebastian, could you call the forensics department? Urgently, please.
Yeah, I got it. A reaction. The chisel's chest positive for blood. What?
I guess that proves my theory that I wasn't just nonsense.
Would this chisel be the murder weapon then? Reacted positively for blood. There is no doubt about it.
Alright, we're getting closer. We're getting closer to the truth.
Mr. Surin Dojin, now that the murder weapon has been found, I must ask you for your testimony.
We know how your dog got to the detention center, and we've found the murder weapon. Do you still think you can talk your way out of this?
Interesting. This guy! Even at a time like this, he's still smiling! Well, Anubis, it seems everyone has become suspicious of you. It's quite troubling, but since it has come to this, we have no choice but to tell the truth. I did not kill anyone. I've long since grown weary of killing.
What's this? His face looks completely composed.
It seems we'll need to listen to Mr. Dojin's explanation. Please promptly give your testimony.
Certainly.
Alright, here we go. Dojin's explanation.
First of all, I would like you to explain my motive. I do not know anyone by the name of Knightley.
Really? That's what you're gonna open with. That's how you're gonna start the day. That's how you're starting your defense is I don't know someone by the name of Knightley. Really? Buddy, we found your chess game. We found your chess game. Please try a different opening statement than that. You're gonna have to try a lot harder than that one, buddy. Okay.
He only bears his fangs at others' my command.
Not a great starter, buddy.
I do not hunger for a blood so much as to kill a man I do not even know. Ah, coming from an assassin, it sure is persuasive.
An assassin who only kills acquaintances. I doubt that would be profitable.
I may kill strangers in my line of work, but I never make it personal.
Is there evidence that shows a connection between Knightley and Dojin? Yes, there is. I should thoroughly review the evidence once more. I don't have to thoroughly review anything. I know that the chessboard is gonna prove. Well, I mean, actually, what should I present? I could present the present the chessboard. Or I mean, it probably makes more sense to just show the this, right? Because this is the one that actually shows where all the things are. Okay, so let's go here. Where you say, I don't know by the name of Knightley, and all I have to do is just present you this, objection! You've lost your touch, Sir Indogen. If you had your dog clean up after you, you should have disposed of this too. This is a record of a corresponding chess game found in the victim's cell. This record and the chessboard in your cell both clearly depict the same game. What? I've heard that the number of possible chess positions is around 10 to the power of 120. 10 by 10, 120 times. 100, 1,000, is that even a real number? Indeed, there's absolutely no way these two could have coincided by chance. Tell us your reason for killing Knightley, unless you intend to explain this as a coincidence. Well, don't they say that the truth is stranger than fiction? It is as you said, this is merely a coincidence. Really? Buddy, you did hear the stats, right? It's like actually impossible. Like the odds are not in your favor here. It is so statistically improbable for those two chessboards to be the exact same. No, just absolutely no. My correspondence chess opponent was the victim in this incident. What a horrible coincidence. Aren't you shocked too, Anubis? Wait, buddy. Anubis, my boy. The animal show, or something. That was when everyone left. Anubis brought the body to my cell. He had already been stabbed in the neck with the murder weapon. I did not wish to be suspected, so I had Anubis carry this body to the workroom. After that, he pulled out the murder weapon and returned it to me. So you're saying that the one who pulled the weapon out was Anubis? That's right. If I pulled out the murder weapon here, the blood would have been a problem. Mr. Edgeworth, isn't this what that solid guy said? A large black dog was biting into the neck of the victim. What did you say? It was truly a hellish scene. That dog killed him. I see. So that means someone witnessed the moment that the murder weapon was pulled out. Oh yes, that prisoner's testimony. It surprised me when I first heard it. It's not often that Anubis makes a blunder like that, right, boy? Now, I believe that explains my actions. I did not kill him. All I did was remove the murder weapon. Now, will that be all? Anubis is getting tired. Objection! Whoa there, just a moment. Just a moment. I gotta hear my awesome music real quick. Mr. Dojin. Mr. Shields. Isn't there one thing you haven't explained? Why would you need to pull out the murder weapon? Well, I would assume it's because, hey look, it's my chisel. But if my chisel was used to murder someone, they'll think it's me. I'm guessing that's gonna be the logic. I understand why he'd move this body to draw suspicion away from him, but he didn't need to retrieve the murder weapon. I thought him just a fool, but how quickly his scent has changed. Care to elaborate, Mr. Dojin? It was because of this bell. The bell attached to the murder weapon and the bell on my dog's neck. They share a distinctive shape, wouldn't you say? The assassin Dojin's trademark. An assassin's trademark? The blind assassin, Dojin. The sound of a bell ringing in the dark of the night is to be the last thing his target hears. You remember well. It has been a while since you last saw my bells, after all. When I prosecuted you in court, I confiscated a knife with the bill attached to it. Yes, my bells. There are only 2 in the world. Only 2? They are custom made, attached to my knife and Anubis' collar. Even though I can only rely on my ears, I can easily identify them. Alas, one had been confiscated and is not in my possession. Okay. When Anubis brought this body here, I heard a familiar sound. I thought my knife must have been embedded in the body. So imagine my confusion when I found out that it was merely a chisel with my bell attached. Indeed, your knife is nothing like this chisel. Either way, those bells are my trademark. Moreover, I'm the only one in this prison who uses chisels. With all this, I knew I would be falsely suspected. So I removed the murder weapon and hid it. So you're claiming that you only moved the body? Didn't I tell you? That chisel isn't mine. If you think I'm lying, go ahead and check for my fingerprints.
Sebastian!
Yeah, me? But how do I check for forensics? Yes, ma'am. Reaction, we have fingerprints. They're Knightley's, Justine.
What about Dojin's?
Nope, just Knightley's.
And there's no evidence of prints being wiped either. Oh, only Knightley's fingerprints? It can't be.
Should we re-examine it?
See now, I never even touched that chisel because I ordered Anubis to carry it in his mouth. In other words, the fingerprints belong to the chisel's original owner.
Ugh. The murder weapon's owner was the victim? This is perplexing.
At any rate, I did not touch the murder weapon. In other words, the killer could not have been me. Isn't that right?
Ugh, I have nothing to refute that.
How could this... Is he really not the killer? Could Dojin's testimony actually be true? This can't be. It seems this is sufficient enough not to warrant any further explanation. As it stands, you have not changed the state of this case. I believe this is more than enough reason for us to relieve you of your badge. Save any needless fuss. I suggest you hand over your badge now.
This is bad, sir. They sound serious.
It's regrettable, but with those prints as decisive evidence, I'll have to rethink my logic from step one.
But there are still many unexplained things. Why would Mr. Knightley be carrying a chisel?
It could be used for many things, perhaps even prison escapes.
Well then, how did he carry it into the prison?
Oh, well, that's easy. You could have just hit it in the chessboard. That much easier to explain.
I mean, the prisoners aren't even allowed cutlery, right, Mr. Edgeworth? Mr. Edgeworth? Even if your reasoning is off at first, you shouldn't let that confuse you. The most important thing is to arrive at the truth. Isn't that right? It doesn't matter how you get there. The end result is to save Simon. We have to do everything we can for his sake.
Well said, Kay.
Nice one, Kay. I really want to scout you for the law firm now. Remember when Uncle Ray said a defense attorney never gives up? Miles, you understand that the true meaning behind those words? The true meaning of those words. Defense attorneys carry the fate of their client on their shoulders. You are the only person your client can rely on. Just like with Mr. Keys, we're the only ones who can save him now. We are linked by fate to our clients. That is why we must never give up. There's no way Uncle Ray can go against the teachings of Gregory. So, what will you do?
Currently, I am a defense attorney's assistant. No, an assistant to my father's firm. I have made a commitment to this case. Therefore, if I don't save my client, I cannot say I've achieved it. I will abide by this. To save Simon Keys, no matter how many times my logic fails, I will always find another possibility.
Okay, you're finally back! Well then, let's search for that other possibility. To start with, do you think there was a way Mr. Knightley could have brought the chisel into the prison?
Yes, with the chessboard. That's easy. That's the easiest thing to explain. Of everything, of every unanswered question, that's the easiest one to explain. Normally, metal objects can't be brought into the detention center or the prison.
They'd just be caught by the security gate.
However, there is one way to avoid this, and that is if they're sent in a package to the detention center.
That case is only used on people. In other words, packages sent to the detention center undergo a simpler check.
So they don't use a metal detector for that?
This never should have happened. It seems the gods were too careless.
Knowing this, Knightley asked Simon to send him a package, namely, a chessboard containing the chisel.
Well, this has solved one of our problems. The fact that the chisel was not Mr. Dojin's, but Mr. Knightley's.
Given this, one major issue remains. The security camera shows a dog attacking the victim. As long as that exists, I will maintain that Dojin is the killer.
But Dojin never touched the murder weapon. I'm stumped. We also desire a conclusion to this matter.
Mr. Edgeworth, we can use one of my secret weapons, sir. Secret weapon. You know what Gumshoe's secret weapons are? They're like mystery mouse tools. Remember that? Remember when I was a kid and Mickey Mouse Clubhouse was on, and like you know how the premise of every episode was something happened, and then throughout the course of the episode they would have four mouse tools to use, and three of them would be three of them would be the most random thing in the world, like a banana, or horseshoe, and a picture frame. Those are completely random examples. And they would all have, like, you'd be watching the episode, and then you'd be like, oh, that's clever. We can use that mascot tool for this situation. And then there was one that they didn't tell you about. It was a mystery Mousecatool. And it's like, what can we use to get out of the situation? That's what this is. We got 3 Mousecatools from Gumshoe, and then we got the other 4 mystery Mousecatools that we don't know what they do, but they're gonna pop up at some point during the game, and they're gonna save our asses. So, what's our first mystery Mousecatool? The video analyzing machine, Mr. Analysis. What's with that ridiculous name? I named it myself, sir. This will let us analyze video footage in detail. You need a special tool for that?
Go ahead, you'll soon see I'm not lying. I don't know what will come of this, but all we can do now is investigate.
Mr. Edgeworth, do you know how to use Mr. Analysis?
A video analysis machine? Should I hear how to use it? I
can't imagine it's any more complicated than it was in Rise from the Ashes. I think we'll pass.
I see no particular need for an explanation.
Yes, sir. Alright, let's turn on Mr. Analysis and get started. Use Mr. Analysis to examine any specific part of the video, sir.
This is the video from the detention center's camera. I believe this was the moment when Knightley was being attacked by the dog. If that wasn't the case, then what does it show? Is the person in this video really Knightley? And what is the true form of the black silhouette attacking this person? I should check the video and try to find the answers to these 2 questions.
There could be unexpected things in unexpected places, so be sure to check every nook and cranny of the video, sir. Okay, what part of the video is strange? Okay, so let's... No, I didn't want to... No, that was wrong. I didn't want to... Okay, maybe I should have watched the tutorial. Maybe I should have listened to Gum's explanation. I don't know what buttons do what. Okay, so let's figure out what the... Okay, so... Okay, it's paused. What do I do to pause it? Okay, so A button is the fast forward button. Okay, so I can examine quadrants of the screen. L button is, okay, so L button is zoom in, zoom out, and I can zoom in different quadrants. B, okay, so B, why is B the play button? X is present, okay, so, can I rewind? Okay, so Y is rewind. Well, let's go back to the beginning. Okay, so Y, okay, let's play it and rewind. So Y is the play, sorry, Y is the rewind button, A is the fast forward button, X is present, L is to zoom in. Okay, we got it now. Okay, so what we're trying to figure out, if the person here, I mean, that looks like a guard, not a, that doesn't look like Knightley, that looks like a guard. Well, that's, okay, hold on, I can't see anything. Oh wait, I can zoom in, right, I forgot. Okay, hold on, let's back out, go up here, zoom in, okay. I still can't really see it all that well though. Okay, hold on, so we gotta zoom in on this part, and then we'll rewind. Okay, so it's definitely a guard uniform, but you're right though, that doesn't really look like a dog, it looks, wait! Oh, it's the bear! It's the fucking polar bear! It's Elbert's bear! Oh, and he's with the, that's smart, that's really smart. Okay, a lot of things just, okay, just snap, a lot of puzzle pieces just fell into place. Okay, I got it now. Okay, I think I figured it out. Okay, so the guard uniform has the full spectrum of colors, right? It's clearly black and white. The video is, but there's a reason why the polar bear is a distinct like silhouette. And that is because Frank saw it. Earlier we found out that he was coating all the animals in mud. So that's why the polar bear is shaded to look like a silhouette. And it's a guard uniform, which means it's not Knightley because he wasn't wearing a guard uniform. But we do know someone, and the only person who would make sense to steal the uniform would be someone who was trying to escape prison, right? And the only person that we know who is trying to escape prison is Mr. J. Elbert, who also happens to have a pet polar bear. And that lines up with the tracks that we found, right? Because we still found tracks in the tunnel, but they may not necessarily have been dog footprints, because they also could have looked like the footprints of a polar bear. So they absolutely could have been the freaking the polar bear's if I can speak, the polar bear's footprints. So that's absolutely what it could have been. So he wasn't being attacked at all. The bear was just with Sawit. He was getting covered in the mud, and then he ran back through the tunnel to get to the cell, and he probably just jumped on Elbert. It's like, hey, best friend, we're back together again. Which explains the guard uniform, because he would have had motive to steal the guard uniform because he wanted to escape. Which means he's probably still in the prison somewhere, just hiding himself among the guards. And it makes sense too, because the footprints we found in the tunnel, in retrospect, they may actually more closely resemble that of a polar bear than a dog. And you know what? he's the one who stole the goddamn key. Because if he's the one planning the escape, then what he probably did is he attacked Knightley in a cell and he attacked the guard so he could get the key, and we know that he was attacking the cell because of the wiped floor. So he has the key from Knightley and he has the uniform from the guard. He has both these things. He has them in his cell. And then he just waits for the animal show to happen, and then he makes his great escape while everyone's distracted by the animal show. Perfect. That is what happened here. That is the explanation behind this freaking video. Except for one small thing that I just kind of realized that actually just doesn't make any sense at all. The timestamp says 6:42 in the morning, but the animal show did not. I just knocked over my water bottle. Great. The animal show did not happen at that time. That's admittedly a bit of a problem. Okay, well, at the very least, we can at least point out the fact that this is clearly not the dog. It's the polar bear. Nothing here. What? What do you mean? Do I have to rewind? Let's rewind a little bit so I can point out the fact that this clearly is not the dog. Maybe I have to rewind to the shot where he jumps on him, like the shot where he's fully visible. Yeah, like right here. I'll point this out. There we go. That'll probably give me my best angle. This is... I fear we have made a grave miscalculation. This animal, this silhouette, no matter how you look at it, it is not a dog. This animal is a bear. For the silhouette, I'd say the animal is not a dog, but a bear. So then, in that photo I took, those footprints must have belonged to this bear, yes. Is there a bear? Yes, that man is the first to come to mind. Now that we know this black shadow isn't a dog, but a bear, there's a good possibility that the man being attacked is not Knightley. Whatever can show that this man is Knightley, the guard uniform. He's wearing the guard uniform. Shouldn't be somewhere in the video, wouldn't it, sir? Since his face is not visible, it would be difficult to get direct confirmation. However, perhaps there is something indirectly reflected. Something reflected? Hey, isn't there a mirror in the cell, sir? Indeed. That could be worth examining. I mean, we can still see the... I mean, here, we'll pause it and then we'll zoom in. Aha! Right there, we got him. Okay, I had to scroll through the whole goddamn video, but we actually finally found the hat, confirming that it is indeed a guard uniform. A reflection of this person can be seen in this mirror. Is that a cap on his head? Actually, it looks kind of like the caps the prisoner guards wear, sir. You don't think it was a guard who was attacked? Have you received a report of any guards being attacked by an animal? No, not that I've heard, sir. Then it was someone else wearing a guard's uniform. I see. I have evidence that shows what this cap is. It is the stolen uniform, which is on this page.
Take that.
There was no report of a guard being attacked by an animal. However, we did hear that a guard's uniform was stolen. Putting two and two together, I'd say this was a disguise for the purpose of a prison escape.
Disguised as a guard? That sounds like it could have been successful, sir. Huh? Speaking of prison escapes.
Indeed, that person certainly was successful. We were all under the impression that the person in this video was Knightley.
But it's his cell after all. Why would it be anyone else?
That line of logic no longer holds. Remember the tunnel under his bed? It's possible whoever used this tunnel is the one in this video.
It seems it is time to answer that question. Judge, who is the person in this video?
The person in this video is none other than attempted prison escapee, Mr. J. Elbert, who is right here.
Take that.
The person wearing the guard's uniform is the escaped prisoner, J. Elbert. The probability is extremely high. His pet is a polar bear cub.
But the bear here is black.
We have evidence that can explain this matter. The reason the polar bear became black is because Frank Sawit was coating them in mud.
Take that.
Link back to Frank Sawit's testimony.
That's the rubber glove I dropped.
Where did the mud on this glove come from?
Ah, that's the mud from my mud packs. At the time I was practicing applying my mud packs.
Could you tell me when this took place on the day of the incident?
Since the animal show had started, I'd say it was around 9 a.m.
That's the only problem with the whole thing we just figured out, is that it kind of contradicts the timestamp in the video. That's the only thing that doesn't make any sense.
I was totally engrossed with covering the animals in mud.
During the animal show, Mr. Solid was applying mud packs to the animals.
So So then, among those animals, was this polar bear? Yes. Prosecutor Edgeworth, there was a huge contradiction in your argument.
Yeah, I know, the timestamp.
Security camera footage. Judge Courtney, you are quite right. Someone used the mud packs during the animal show. Knowing this, a new contradiction in the video comes to light.
A new contradiction?
Kay, do you know when this footage was taken?
It was after the mud packs were used. That would put it around 9 a.m.
In that case, you should notice something strange about this video.
Huh? What's strange about it?
The strange thing that contradicts the time this video was taken is the timestamp in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. The time Salt covered the polar bear in mud was around 9 a.m., which means this video should also have been taken at 9 a.m. However, the timestamp reads 6 a.m. Well, if we round up, it's closer to 7 a.m., but still. On that day, the prisoners went to the courtyard to watch the animal show. At this time, only 3 people remained behind. Dojin in the special cell, Sawat in the workroom applying his mud packs, and the one who put his escape plan in motion at that moment, Jailbird. Elbert left the polar bear in Sawat's care and entered the secret tunnel. However, the bear escaped from Sawat and followed him after its owner. And just as he was chasing after the escaped bear, Sawat happened to witness the dog pulling the murder weapon out of the body. If Sawat's testimony is correct, this video must have been taken at around 9 a.m. However, the timestamp is off by 3 hours.
Why would the timestamp be off like that?
Detective Gumshoe, I'd like you to examine the security camera.
Sorry to keep you waiting, sir. I asked all the guards and... It seems the camera's power was cut off for a moment, throwing off the timestamp.
What?
The camera's an old model, so if it loses power, the clock stops as well.
In that case, this means the camera's power was cut for 3 hours.
Okay, that's useful information.
While I'm at it, I've got some more information for you, sir. You heard that Knightley denied stealing the key, right? It seems nobody will believe the words of a criminal, but Knightley testified I was knocked out too.
That may not necessarily be a lie.
Yeah, that actually perfectly lines with what we said earlier.
Making progress in your investigation? Can I be of any help?
Actually, Warden Roland, there is something we must report to you. The escaped prisoner, Jailbird, is most likely still inside the prison. He has disguised himself. Here is the proof. The person visible in this security video is Elbird, so perhaps he's still in this very building.
Come to think of it, didn't Mr. Elbert have a bracelet like the other prisoners?
The bracelet would have been concealed under the uniform sleeves. Moreover, the prison's main gate does not have a sensor to detect bracelets. All he would have to do is avoid any doors with sensors inside the prison.
That's right, so if he didn't enter the cells or the workrooms... Could one of you guys be J. Elbert? Ah! Rocky!
That's a yes, yep. Well, it appears you've been exposed.
It would seem that Rocky has answered that question for us.
Rocky, this is all your fault.
The little guy loves you so much, it's enviable.
Right then, seize him at once.
Wait, there's something we must hear from this prisoner. It's necessary if we are to find the truth. I'd like permission to interrogate him.
Understood. What do you want out of me?
Elber's escape route is linked to Knightley's cell, so it's highly likely he knows something about the crime. I'd like to ask you about the day the body was found.
Alright, here we go. We got you dead to rights, buddy. We figured out your whole scheme.
So you guys, you were the ones who found my secret tunnel? Took me ages to dig that. The day the body was found was the day I had planned to escape. I was in disguise.
Okay. So, I'm gonna ask for more information about that. Just to confirm my theory is correct, I'm gonna ask for more information about that.
But it was all covered in mud. I panicked and returned to my cell. Damn, if only you guys hadn't shown up, I felt like Knightley hadn't died.
You say you dug the tunnel. What did you use to dig it?
Oh, that. Just hammers and spoons, stuff like that. I bought them from the supplier, but it was all for nothing.
No need to lose your temper. It's always next time.
On the day of the incident, it's possible that Edgeworth met Knightley while he was alive. I'll have to listen to his testimony carefully. Okay. Well, the first thing I want to do is ask more about details about how the day he planned to escape was the day the body was found, because this could perfectly line up with what I was saying earlier. Did you obtain the guard's uniform from the supplier too?
Yeah, that's right. Seems he got it by threatening a guard. That guy went and stole it from someone's locker.
So, when you went through the tunnel, you were already dressed like the guard?
No, to ensure that the clothes wouldn't get stained with mud, I carried them with me. Once I got out of the hole and changed clothes, getting out of the cell doors was simple.
Oh, was it now? Was it now? Because here's the thing with that, buddy. The doors to the cells are locked, which means the only way you could have gotten through them is if you were the one who stole the key!
And that's when Rocky went up and jumped on me.
That must be the moment the security camera captured. I see. Could you add that to your testimony, because we've just got you dead to rights. Alright, buddy. Game over, pal, because you could not have gotten through there without use of the key that you were the one who stole! Objection! You say it was simple getting through the cell door.
Yeah, that's right. You got a problem with that?
Even though you managed to arrive at Knightley's cell, opening the door wasn't so simple. How did you intend to unlock the cell door? Jailbird, you had the key to Knightley's cell!
I ain't got nothing like that. That's it. It was open. It was already unlocked when I got there.
Indeed, the cell was vacant after Knightley's death, which is why, at the time we conducted our investigation, it was unlocked. Your successful escape attempt occurred after Knightley's death, so the door would have been open. However, you had tried to open the escape once before then.
The plan was spoiled thanks to Rocky. The video shows it.
Yes, that was during the animal show, before Knightley's death was known, and the cell door was locked, because no one knew he was dead. Without the key to Knightley's cell, your escape would have been impossible.
That means it can't be.
It's exactly what you think. In the case of the stolen key, the culprit is Jailbird. You were the one who attacked the guard, weren't you? The guard, and Knightley too, in order to steal the cell key.
It wasn't me. I don't know any Knightley.
After stealing the key, you returned to your cell as a precautionary measure. Then, you waited for a time when the prison would not be mostly vacant. That was just before Knightley's death became known. In other words, during the animal show. But in the end, the plan was foiled thanks to Rocky.
Don't screw with me if you don't have evidence.
I have evidence, buddy. Buddy, I have all the evidence in the world because we have proof that the floor was wiped up from blood. I think not. Regarding the theft of the keys, Knightley was the victim. This proves Knightley was the victim who was attacked in his cell.
Take that!
In Knightley's cell, there were traces of his blood, which had been wiped away. I believe this is more than enough proof Knightley was attacked in his cell. You attacked those two people and stole the key, didn't you?
Gotcha! I never thought you'd find the blood stain I wiped away with the newspaper.
Why would you go through all the trouble of wiping the blood stain?
On the hands of Knightley and the guard, there were obvious signs of a scuffle, you know? If the bloodstains were uncovered, they'd find out there was another attacker. If anyone looked around the bed, the tunnel I dug would be discovered.
So you were trying to buy more time for your escape attempt. But I'm afraid to say your plan still ended in failure. Now then, hand over the keys to Knightley's cell. Okay. Rocky's like, nope, I'm out of here. You screwed up, buddy. Your scheme's out. I thought you were gonna get me out of this prison, but you failed miserably. I'm out of here. Peace. I'm moving on to a new prisoner.
No way. How can an amateur like you knock me out? Here, I got the keys right here.
Just as we suspected.
Hold it if you have that key, and that means...
That's right, Judge Courtney. You reasoned that Knightley stole the key and used it to leave his cell. From there, he entered Mr. Keyes' cage and was moved to the workroom. However, that very foundation of the hypothesis collapsed! I see, in that case, there was only one person who could have moved Knightley. The criminal must have been someone who knew about the secret tunnel.
Hey, are you suggesting...
Jailbird, you're under arrest, pal!
Oh, wait, I didn't do nothing. Sure, I knocked out those two guys. Then I stole the keys. And after that, I waited for the perfect time to enter that guy's cell. But the cell was empty then. There was no dead body either. And also, how could I have gotten into the workroom? I couldn't even leave my own cell, right?
It's true, you only had the key to Knightley's cell, but there's also Dojin's dog.
What?
It's possible for the dog to carry the body from the cell to the workroom. I see. So, you're saying there was an accomplice. The crime would have been possible if Elbert and Dojin were working together. It's perfectly possible. Somehow, Elbert managed to carry Knightley's body to his own cell.
And then, the dog must have carried it to the workroom.
Yes, because all the animals can move freely in the prison. But that's not the case for the path between the detention center and the prison. The only one who could use that route was you, Jailbird.
What if there's another route that you didn't know about?
There couldn't have been. The tunnel is a straight path, is it not?
Yeah, seems like it. I didn't have enough time to dig any more than I did. I only dug halfway up the corridor.
What? What? You mean to say that you didn't dig the entire tunnel?
When I got to that cell, the tunnel was already there. There was a tunnel linking my cell to the well.
To the well. To the well. Okay, so that changes things drastically. So then it had to. Okay, so now we have to check. Now we have to go back and investigate the stage show.
Alright, let's continue the tunnel with my digging.
What was that hole doing there in the first place?
Who knows? Maybe another inmate dug it in an attempt to escape.
Or maybe the animals dug it. Maybe they wanted to drink from the well.
That's highly doubtful.
There's no water in that well anymore. It's all dried up.
Huh?
Wait a minute. That's it! For some reason, that well gave off a nice scent.
Oh! And it gave off a nice scent. Would it have been a sweet scent? A nice scent?
I don't know what it was, but it smelled sweet.
Yup, there we go. It smelled sweet like candy. Hey, you wanna know what else smelled sweet like candy? Knightley's body. This scent. I believe we've come across it before. We know this scent from Knightley's body.
Take that!
Knightley's body was given off a sweet candy-like scent. We used a police dog to track that scent, and that led us to discover the tunnel. By any chance, could this be the same scent as the well?
Prosecutor Edgeworth, I know what you're trying to say. That the scent proves the body was carried down through the tunnel.
Exactly. And, Jailbird, you are the only one who could have used the tunnel.
Thank you, Mr. Elbert. I am very grateful to you. At last the truth comes to light. Mr. Elbert, wouldn't it be wise to confess now? To being an accomplice, I mean.
Don't tell me even you suspect me too.
Judge Courtney, it seems you and I have come to the same conclusion.
Not at all. Our thoughts on this matter are still quite different. Mr. Elbert was certainly an accomplice, but an accomplice to Horace Knightley.
Hold it!
What do you mean?
Mr. Elbert did not move this body. He simply lent the victim his keys.
What?
It would seem Mr. Elbert did indeed strike Mr. Knightley on the head. However, Mr. Knightley was not knocked out. The two must have made a little negotiation.
Negotiation?
For Mr. Knightley's escape plan to work, he would have needed the keys to his cell, so Mr. Elbert stole them from the guard. On the other hand, for Mr. Elbert to escape, he needed to get to Mr. Knightley's cell. But if Mr. Knightley had seen him and yelled, the plan would have gone down the drain. And so, they negotiated.
I didn't negotiate nothing.
Oh, you still intend to deny it?
I see. So, in other words, we're back where we started. Always a nice feeling to have.
Mr. Elbert opened the cell door and Mr. Knightley entered Mr. Keyes' cage. And then, he was moved into the prison.
Of course. And then he was killed in the prison workroom.
Can we just, duct tape his mouth shut? Would you listening? The scent on the body shows it must have been moved through the tunnel. Knightley was moved from the detention center through the tunnel.
Please wait until someone is finished before speaking. I do not claim that he wasn't moved through the tunnel.
What?
You don't?
The scent shows that the body was moved through the tunnel.
However, that does not mean it came from the detention center. What do you mean? That seems like a contradiction to me.
Isn't there one more possibility? The well in the courtyard.
The courtyard? Ah, the well in the courtyard.
Mr. Keyes carried the cage not to the workroom but to the courtyard. Mr. Knightley was killed in the courtyard and his body was dropped down the well. And then the body at the bottom of the well was moved by Mr. Dojan's dog. Now, there's one thing I'd like you all to remember before the body was discovered. What was happening in the courtyard? The animal show, right? Wait, Simon? Ah! I see you understand. Who then dropped the body down the well? George Courtney. She's a tough opponent. Her flexible way of thinking enables her to adapt and come up with her own deductions. Mr. Knightley was not carried to the workroom but to the courtyard. Mr. Keyes was off stage for 15 minutes. This is when he dropped Mr. Knightley down the well. It's as simple as that. Judge Courtney, your reasoning is sound, I'll admit that. However, let's say the body was dropped down the well. That didn't have to be done during the show. It could have happened at a different time. Unfortunately for you, Prosecutor Edgeworth, that is not possible. What? When the show started, Mr. Elbow was in the tunnel on his way to the cell block. Mr. Elbert, at that time, did you happen to see a body in the tunnel?
Nope, nothing like that. Ugh.
So if the body had been dropped before the show, Mr. Elbert would have seen it. However, he stated he did not see a body. So it is impossible to think the body was dropped before the show. And after the show, the body was discovered in the workroom. In other words, the body being dropped down the well and then moved to the workroom could only have been done during the show. And the only one who could have done it is Simon Keyes. No! Mr. Edgeworth! What should we do? If the body was moved through the well, that does put Mr. Keyes at a major disadvantage. However, the notion that the body was moved through the well is only a hypothesis. That doesn't mean there is evidence. I am obligated to recognize that fact. Will you allow me to investigate the courtyard once more? I give my approval in the name of the goddess of law. When investigating the courtyard, I fear this may be our final chance.
Oh, huh?
What? Fire!
Coming on the prison break, pal.
Should we evacuate?
Everyone, please remain calm. This is just a signal for the evening meal. It's a little loud, so I can understand.
That's your signal for the evening meal. The freaking police siren. Hey guys, don't worry. I know that siren was really loud and everything, but don't worry, it's just the dinner bell. Okay, could have sworn there was an ambulance about to crash through the side of the prison wall, but okay, I guess it's just time for dinner then.
It sure scared me. I'm terribly sorry, and with that, everyone, please return to your posts. Jailbird, it's also time for you to return to your room.
I got it. Let's go, Rocky.
Warden Roland, we will be proceeding to the courtyard for another investigation.
Isn't it time for you to go home as well, Mr. Edgeworth? It looks like we're out of time.
Why don't you continue this another time?
But the investigation?
Today's been a big day, right? With the escaped prisoner and all. So I'm afraid I can't let outsiders like you loiter around any longer. Ugh. This is my decision as the warden of this prison.
It's also your decisions that you can probably hide more evidence that points to you as the culprit.
Looks like it can't be helped. The warden's word can be called the law of the prison. Prosecutor Edgeworth, this means we will have to carry out our investigation another day. Until then, you may hold on to your prosecutor's badge. And with that, I leave you.
Now I think it is time you all left.
Well, looks like we'll have to continue the investigation tomorrow. Knightley's body was dropped down the well, and was carried to the workroom from Mr. Elbert's cell. This is Judge Courtney's logic, but is it correct? And Judge Courtney claims that Mr. Keyes transported him, but was Mr. Keyes really the only one with a chance to move him?
Mr. Edgeworth, let's do our best tomorrow. We have to save Simon no matter what.
Indeed, I agree. I must prove Mr. Keyes' innocence without fail. Okay, so, here's the thing. First off, case is great so far. I really love the logic behind this case. I can't wait to finish it out. I am still finishing this case today. I'm not reneging on that word. But this episode has been going on for way too goddamn long, so I'm pretty sure I still fulfilled my end of the bargain with the whole extended episode thing because this episode was really long. But in case it doesn't satisfy your desire for more, I am still going to release another episode later today to finish out the case, since I said at the beginning of the video that I would finish the case today. So, that'll be it for now. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned next up to catch you all tomorrow later today for the conclusion of the Imprisoned Turnabout. Goodbye.